I wrote the story, and there was a lot of mail. You know, the story appeared on the front page of the Washington Post, and it just went viral. You know, I humbly say the story got a lot of attention. Radio was talking about it. It just got a lot of attention. And, but I didn't feel that joy because his wife of 65 years had died. And so I went out of town, and I was in Memphis on another story about to interview actually the actor Morgan Freeman for a story. And the phone rings in my Memphis hotel room about 3 days after the story had appeared, maybe 4 days after the story had appeared. And it was Laura Ziskin, big time movie producer, had made all of the Spider-Man movies, famous, legendary. And she said, your Butler story, Wil, is a movie. It's a movie. And I would like to ask you to allow me to turn this story into a movie. And of course, I'm like saying, wow, I mean, my goodness. And she said, now there are going to be other movie producers, and they're going to be calling you. She said, but here's my pitch. And we talked on the phone for about an hour. And she gave this whole outline. You could tell that she had put a lot of thought into it. She was actually calling me from London. Somebody in LA had called her and said, you have to read this story on the front page of the Washington Post about this butler who worked in the White House for 34 years, for 8 presidents. And so she read it and immediately found me in Memphis, Tennessee. And she was correct. Maybe 15 more movie producers had called me within the next 3 or 4 days. I did talk to all of the others, and some of the conversations were very long and involved, but she was the one who said, I'm going to make it. I mean, I'm going to make this movie. The movie deals were signed, and then Lee Daniels, wonderful director, Oscar nominated for Precious, his movie Precious. Brilliant too. And he starts assembling a stunning cast. The kind of cast that is rare. There are 7 Oscar winners in this movie. People like Forrest Whitaker, Cuba Gooding, Melissa Leo, Robin Williams, Jane Fonda, and Vanessa Redgrave. And all these people were attracted to this story. And we head down to New Orleans and start filming in this last summer. So it's the summer of 2012. And it is a pretty surreal experience to see this caliber of talent that has massed together to film something that you wrote. And so it was amazing. And so, but while I'm on the movie set, I'm looking around and I'm thinking, this is a book. We need, the Butler story needed to be expanded in book length form because he really is kind of a seminal figure. I mean, he was at the White House before any of the 1960s civil rights bills were passed. So he lived in an era of segregation, and then an era of all the Mississippi murders, the murder of Medgar Evers, the murder of Martin Luther King Jr. I mean, he lived through the Little Rock school crisis. He lived through Vietnam. His son was in Vietnam. He was serving President Lyndon Johnson meals while Johnson was sending his son to Vietnam. And I'm down on the movie set, and I just start thinking, this is a book, with, this whole story told in book-length form.